What's up, guys? Welcome back to The Real Estate. This is Danny Elliott here with another episode for you, and I wanted to talk to you today about the Zoomers because 81% of boomer bosses say you guys aren't ready to work and so you're fired. And also, because of you guys, no one's going to get hired next year. It's not because of the economy, it's because of you. See, this is what we're going to have going forward here, right? Because there has been no hiring. No one's hiring, and we have return to office mandates. So those are firings, by the way. If you told all your workers that, you know, the government's locked everybody in a cage so you guys can work from home, and now you want to fire a bunch of people, so you're telling them, hey, you got to come back to the office so you can get on the internet and do your entire job on the computer. I mean, that's basically firing people, right? But yeah, boomer bosses don't like you Zoomers because you're grossly unprepared for the work environment, in their words. I had some notes here about this, but I'm just going to kind of riff with you guys. And there was a recruiter. There were some quotes from her that I had written down. I'm driving, so I don't really need my notes. But the thing you got to understand about recruiters, and she said that, you know, if you're going to get $80,000 for your first job, you should be ready. You know, you got to hit the ground running. You should be expected to know everything for $80,000. Well, first of all, it's not $80,000, is it? Because if you got a job and you got fired like almost right away, you didn't get $80,000, right? You got put on a trial run. Because that's what your first job is. It's just a tryout. Now, you guys that are at your first job, could you please drive the damn Prius? You guys are at your first job making whatever. I mean, but you're 22 years old and you've never worked before. That might be a problem. You know? That's kind of a long time to be eligible and never try out for anything. Like, I mean, if you're, like, let's say you're on a sports team. I mean, are you going to wait until you're, like, 22 to, like, try out for the team? No, you got to practice, like, every day out in the street, in your neighborhood. And then maybe you play, like, on a local team, like, you know, Little League, or, like, you play hockey, and then, you know, you play on the junior high team, and then you play on the high school team, and then, maybe then, you know, you get to play college. It's the same thing. Like, if you've never had a job until you're 22, yeah, you're not going to be ready, I would say. I would say that that's not an unusual thing. But recruiters are trying to make money too. You got to understand, like, they need you guys to stay for 12 months. I know this because I almost started a recruiting agency. I thought about it before I went full-time in real estate, because I used to do hospitality. I used to be a GM at a hotel, and I decided I didn't want to work for anybody else anymore. And there were a lot of opportunities because hospitality had a lot of unfilled positions, and you could make money on a contract basis, but you had to hire someone who would stay the entire 12 months, or else you don't get paid. So if you hire somebody and they don't make it, then it doesn't work out very well for you. Your business is not going to make money. I just didn't do it just because I didn't want to be in the time for money game. I wanted to be in the passive income game. But anyways, that has nothing to do with this topic, really. I mean, just that I kind of have, you know, I see recruiters saying stuff now, and they're kind of like real estate agents that can't sell houses. They're starting to get a little squirrely. They're starting to blame everybody else for their shortcomings. But if you haven't had a job and you walk into your first one, I don't care if you're 14 or 24 or 54, you're probably going to suck at it. And you're going to get fired. So you should just assume that that's going to happen anyways, right? But I have some tips for you guys, because I thought about this a little bit. Sometimes I think about the videos before I make them. I don't always make them right off the cuff. But a lot of the complaints from the boomer bosses are basically like generational beefs. Like, you know, you guys are more immersed in technology and not real good with the soft skills. You're not good at talking to people. You don't really take kindly to bosses criticizing your work. I mean, I can see that. But again, what did we do in 2020? Right? We locked everybody in a cage. We interrupted schools, colleges. People basically stopped learning for 2 years. You know? You guys didn't learn anything on Zoom. Come on. I mean, you're going to tell me that these public school teachers, like, delivered a good educational experience on Zoom calls? That's bullshit. And you teachers know it. You're a disgrace. But I want to talk to you Zoomers. Like, so what you got to do at work? You got to be ready to be fired. You know, you got to walk in there and assume you are going to be fired at some point. Because it's your first job. You're not going to be good. You are going to screw things up. Right? So, and don't, you know, they're not going to like it, right? They're going to expect you to know everything because you came out with some kind of degree from your public university. Or, you know, maybe you started straight out of high school. You're trying to figure it out. But you are going to get fired, guys. And you just have to walk in there knowing that. But you also have to try. You know, you also have to make a really good presentation. And just think about it like it's a project you're working on. Like, think about it like me. Like, I make a horrible presentation, but I have a lot of notes. Now, think about it as, like, you're going in there just to learn. Because no one's going to babysit you, right? That's something that came up in this article. It was in my notes, you know, that you've had your hand held the entire college experience, right? You've had people supervising you. You've had people, you know, petting you like you're a little kitty cat. Oh, you're doing such a good job. Oh, if you need anything, please, you know, let me know. Let me know what I can show you. You know, if you don't understand it, let me know. Let me know. And now you're in a situation where you have to provide value in exchange for the money. So it's not going to be the same thing. It's going to be completely different. You're in a situation where, you know, if people feel like you're not delivering on their objectives, you're not going to make it. And in times like these companies are cutting back. This is not like a couple of years back when, you know, everybody in the tech industry was just getting hired left and right, and people were making TikToks about their day at the office, and this is my day, wait, you gotta have the microphone. This was my day at work, and I started off, I went to Starbucks, and I got a sandwich and a cappuccino, and now I'm at the office, and it's not like that anymore, okay? Like, everybody's not just chilling in bean bags, you know, having snacks served to them, and like sleeping on the floor because they have such a great work-life balance working for Google. It's totally different now. So if companies want to cut, they're going to try people out. Like, I had this one time I was working as a bartender, and it was a brand new restaurant, and they hired 25 of us, and they kept 4 of us. It's just the way it works, right? They try everybody out. They see who comes in, they see who's got it, they see who doesn't, and they just make cuts accordingly. And like, if you're new, if you're within your probationary period, they might just cut you. But you just got to expect that you're going to get cut. You got to assume that you're going to get fired. So assume you're going to get fired and try to learn what you can, but the one thing I could say that you probably should try the best, because this was like a recurring theme in all of the articles I read, was that no one was listening and people were having basically meltdowns anytime there was constructive feedback issued to the employees. You can't get upset about this. Like, a job is not the end of the world. It's not. It's just a tryout, you know, it's a short chapter. You got to figure it like a business relationship that may not last very long. Just assume you're like a partner or something, you know. Partners usually don't last. That goes for all kinds of partnerships, including the marriage contracts out there. They always fail. I love divorces. It's a great way to buy a house. If somebody's getting divorced, give me a call. No, but you could buy great deals from divorces and deaths. Maybe deportations. Got a lot of D's in the real estate biz, you know, great. But anyways, we're not going to talk about real estate. We're going to talk about the jobs, guys. But I would say that the biggest thing that they were pissed about is that the Zoomers have a tough time taking constructive criticism. So I don't know if that's true. Maybe it is. I mean, millennials can be pretty thick-headed. I know. I'm a millennial. I don't always get my way. But if you go into work and you have an open mind and you know that you're going to screw up, you know that you're going to make lots of mistakes, and you know that you're probably going to get fired ultimately, that gives you the right mindset where you can assume that it's not going to be forever, but you might pick up some skills. Like, you might actually learn some stuff. You might actually make some good relationships with some other people at your work. You might actually develop, you might have a few people you can network with at the next place, or, you make some contacts. But most of all, you're just going to develop some skills, like some entry level, some basic skills that you're going to carry with you to the next job. Because the days when, like, a lot of the boomers have been at the same company for 50 years. I mean, that doesn't happen anymore. Like, 50 days is a long time, right? I don't know. But you just got to assume it's not going to be forever. That job is not going to last you a long time. You're not going to get the whole $80,000. You might not even get $8,000 out of the place. Because they're going to try you out. They're going to see what you're made of. And if it's your first job, you are made of nothing. You are literally you're like Play-Doh, right? You're being molded into a career professional in whatever field you're in. So you got to learn that. You got to learn the skills that it takes to do that job. And you got to be open to criticism. I mean, in hospitality, we get constantly criticized. Like, that was just part of our day-to-day. The guests would get really upset about the smallest of things. I mean, we had guests, like, lighting us up in the reviews because we didn't, like, chase someone through the hotel who wasn't wearing a mask and, like, grab them by the back of the neck and, like, call the cops on them. I mean, we had the craziest people of all time during the disease in the hotel business. You just wouldn't believe it. But despite all that, we still had to stand there and just say, yeah, I understand how you feel, and we're gonna fix it, But that's what you guys got to do. You got to listen and, like, engage with people at work, figure out what the hell it is that they want, and you got to try. Like, if you're not trying, if you're just at work, just sitting there playing with your phone all day, you're obviously going to get fired. I mean, I shouldn't need to like tell you that in a video. That's like boring. Like people are probably clicking off the video right now. They're like, what the hell, who is this guy? He's telling us the obvious. But I mean, that came up many times. Like you guys are not engaged. We need more engagement at work and on this channel. Yeah, so please like, share, and subscribe. But I just want to share that with you guys. But yeah, you know, you got to just try your best, and you got to assume you're not going to make it. You got to assume you're going to be fired from your first job. And once you take that mindset, you know, once you just like accept the fact that you're probably not going to make it out of there, you're not going to get the 80,000, like they are just like, they're trying you out to see if it works or not. Then you can just say, all right, well, you know, I'm not totally invested in this place, but I do want to see what it's about. And I want to see if I can learn as much as I possibly can here. Because if not, then what is even the point? Right, guys? Like, what is the point of having a job if you don't learn there? And if you are at a job and you've, like, maybe you had jobs, you know, before you graduated college. And you walk into that job and you have a lot of skills, and like the job is not teaching you anything new. Like this was my problem in my last couple of jobs. I was not doing anything new. I was not growing as a person. And when you stop growing as a person, when you already know all of the skills required to do the job, you've already basically mastered the craft, and there's nothing more you can do there, then that's the point when, you know, it's acceptable for you to just say, yeah, I'm checked out. I've basically broken up with this place in my mind, and as soon as I find something better, I'm just going to take it. But if you literally know nothing, then you just take it as like a paid internship, and you learn as much as you possibly can. You listen to everybody, you engage with everybody. Ooh, are we doing a septic tank over here? And you just take those skills and you move on to the next one. Or if they pull you in to the office and they say, hey, it didn't work out, we're sorry, then you just say, well, I knew it. I knew I was going to get fired anyways. And you just go on, right? But you don't get upset. You don't take it as personal attacks. You just take it as it is what it is. And this is part of it, right? So I hope that was helpful for you guys who might be out there struggling in the job market right now. And please give me a like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next episode. I'm Danny Elliott. Thanks for watching.